Guys, so today I'm gonna make a video, not your typical video that I usually do, but is gonna be ranking the four boxing styles. The four main boxing styles that many of you might or might not know. If you do not know, then I will briefly mention these styles anyway. But this will be an opinionated video, basically, like my opinion on these styles and why I think what I think about each style. So we have great, good, and not so good, because there is no such thing as bad, because styles make fights, and many people and many fighters, they mix their styles up. It's never like a one-sided style, it's always a little mixture. But yeah, so here we go. So we have the Philly shell, then we have the Mexican style, then we have the European style or Russian style, and then we have the Cuban style. So I'm gonna go first with the Philly shell, and I'm definitely putting the Philly shell to the category of good. The advantages of the Philly shell is it's a very good counter style. So you have your lead hand covering your stomach, and your power hand, or your power hand covering the upper part of your body. But it's a very awkward style, so when people fight you in this style, they won't know where the counter is going to come from, right? So it's a very tricky style. That's why I enjoy actually incorporating this style when I box. Also, if you know how to use the Philly shell to your full advantage, you'll be able to see punches coming from a mile away. Like, it's a very good style, since it's awkward, like I said, and you can actually see many punches coming before they even come to you, and you can easily block them off and come back with a counter. Now, the disadvantages with this fighting style is that if you do not know how to use it correctly, you can easily get punches to the forehead. You can easily eat too many punches to the forehead, which is going to throw you off as a fighter if you keep taking forehead shots, and they're definitely going to accumulate. Also, if you're a fighter that likes to use distance, this isn't your style, because this is more or less of a close combat fighting style. It's best used when closing the gap between you and your opponent, and not really for distance fighting. So now we go to the Mexican fighting style. In this fighting style, I'll be definitely putting it to not so good. So the reason I put it to not so good is because, for one, you can definitely get your lights knocked out with this fighting style, because you're basically a brawler, right? So you're just going in, throwing punches. Again, your forehead is super exposed in this fighting style, but your chin is for sure, protected. But again, if you're getting accumulated shots to the head, it can, you just take one good shot to the forehead and it could be lights out. Also, you just tire yourself out unless you have good lungs and aerobic capacity, and you can actually handle this fighting style. It's good, but again, it's a very dangerous fighting style. Some advantages of this fighting style would be the pressure you put on your opponent. Some people cannot handle the pressure, so if the other fighter is more of a counter striker or a defense fighter, more like, fighting on the outside, this would be one of the best bets to score points or even get a knockout. But again, I do not recommend this fighting style. It's super beginnerish. Only for a very few people and boxers has this actually worked out a good deal without bringing too much damage. Next, we have the European style, or aka Russian style, whatever you want to call it. This will go to good. Sorry about that, guys. I'm a newbie to this technology. So European goes to good. The advantages of the European style is distance fighting, so you use your distance to get points. It's very good for getting points and winning by points usually. And it has good pivots. And the hooks are thrown usually from a distance. It won't be like a close hook. It's gonna be like a kind of like a jab hooks and like jab uppercuts like from a distance. So that's the advantage, that you use reach and distance to your advantage. Yeah, that's the advantage basically. Disadvantage is that this, like I said, is more like a point system, like a point fighting style. So it's to get points. You don't really aim for a knockout, but of course things do happen with perfect timing, good timing, but not many like power uppercuts. Not many strong uppercuts in this fighting style, because you're fighting from a distance, so you can't really sit on your punches as much. It's more like slick punches. That would be the disadvantage, in my opinion. So last but not least, we have the Cuban style. And of course, it's to go to the great tier list right here, up here. Now, you're going to ask, why the Cuban style? Well, the Cuban style, the advantages are quite a few. For one, Cubans, and in general, the Cuban style is footwork based. So you focus on your feet before you even focus on your punches. And we know that everything comes and starts from the legs in boxing. So you get your twerk from the legs, you get your power from the legs. So you need leg work. So if you got good footwork in boxing, it's very, very difficult for someone to catch you. So the Cuban style, and the benefits, the advantages: using, like the European style, using your reach to your advantage, and distance to your advantage. Now, the good thing is, I've seen even shorter fighters use the Cuban style, so it's not just taller people. European style usually is and tends to be used more by taller fighters, but the Cuban style could be used for shorter fighters as well. So the advantages, like I said, footwork for one. So you know how to step out of range, how to angle out and throw counter punches at the same time, how to do check hooks at the same time. Like somebody's coming in, you check hook, then you weave under, and then you throw another counter, and then you play a little bit with the feet. So there's a lot of combinations when it comes to the Cuban style. Unlike the other styles, they usually focus more on distance, closing distances, and using distance and range to advantage. The Cuban style is in and out, uses a little bit of everything, uses the distance, closes distance, then leaves the pocket with footwork. I mean, a lot of pivots with the Cuban style. Check out Prince Nassim if you guys do not know of him. He used to be one of the top boxers from the UK. I believe he is from Pakistan. He used to be number one in the world in his weight class. He was light as a feather, man, and his style was I would say full Cuban, but in his own he did a little tweak to it, because he always had his hands down. But the Cuban style, another advantage is you can have your hands up or down depending on your skill level and your confidence, and it'll work the same because it's basically footwork. So you work the ring with your feet. Disadvantages, I'll say, is like the European style, it's not really to knock out your opponent, it's for points basically, and for you not to get hit, to hit and not get hit. So the knockout, really, it could be just from timing, from a good counter timing punch that you could get a knockout, of course. All depends on the situation, but it's usually a point system style, so you're using it for points basically, and for less damage taken to your own body and brain. If you guys are not familiar with these styles and you want to learn more about them, I suggest you guys use Google, use boxing, check out some boxers that have these styles, and you can learn a lot from just watching boxing videos and just watching fights in general. I will also be making more videos coming soon, especially on punches and ranking the punches just like this, but it's gonna be even better because now I'm just getting the hang of using this program. So I hope you guys enjoyed this brief little ranked video idea thingamajiggy, and I'll see you on to the next one. If you guys have any questions or want me to make specific videos, please make sure you leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you next time, guys.